A handsome man in his late 20s was sitting on a chair in his office, staring at a particular photo frame that was placed on his desk. His face was expressionless, but his eyes had a lot of emotions. He stretched his hand and grabbed the photo frame and kissed it. Park Jimin, a famous business tycoon who owns a massive company. He seemed to be a normal human being leading his life, but hid so many dark secrets within himself. He's the most feared undercover mafia. Nobody knows anything about him except for his name, PJM. He is known to be heartless and with no weakness. But this heartless mafia lost his heart to a girl who was contradictory to his personality. Wine, a simple, sweet, and kind soul who lost her parents years ago. She used to work in a cafe where he saw her for the first time and fell in love with her. From that day, he started visiting there on daily basis. They became friends, and after some months, he confessed to her and she happily accepted. They started dating. Jimin wanted to keep his relationship transparent with no secrets. Therefore, he told her about his hidden identity as a mafia, which the world was unaware of. One was terrified, but his genuine and sincere love for her made her stay in this relationship. After dating for a year, Jimin decided to propose her and eventually they got married. Everything was going good. They were happy, more than happy with each other, but everything fell apart one day when Jimin suddenly asked for a divorce. Jimin's trails of thoughts broke with a knock on the door. He sighed and placed the frame back on its place before permitting the person in. A man dressed in black suit entered inside and bowed to him. He was his assistant, both in business and mafia world. What? He asked coldly, eyes still sticking to the photo of his heart stealer. Sir, I have got some information about Miss Wyan. His ears perked up as soon as he mentioned her name. He craned his neck towards him and raised his eyebrows in a questioning way. There are both good news and bad news. Till now, he has his full attention on him. Cut the crap and get to the point. Sir, Miss Wine is pregnant. You are going to be father. Jimin got goosebumps all over his body hearing this new information. Happiness filled up to his every nerve. His eyes brightened. But this happiness was momentary until the reality hit him. He looked at Jack, signaling him to continue with the information bulletin. Your enemies find out about Miss Wyan and they are after her. They attacked on her twice, but we handled somehow. She is still unaware about all this. Jimin gulped a lump in his throat like he was deglutining the info he just got. I'll take my leave, sir, but I still say divorcing her wasn't a good decision. He bowed and left from there, leaving him in his own reverie. He leaned back, throwing his head back on his rolling chair. He looked at the ceiling, speculating about the mess that he created so far. 2 hours passed by with him sitting in the same position with the same thoughts roaming in his head. It was 9, and almost the whole office was empty by now. A knock was again heard on the door, but he was too tired to respond to it. After 2 knocks, the door opened, revealing Jack again. He entered with a tray of food in his hands. He placed the tray on his desk. Your dinner, sir. Take it away. I don't have appetite. You can't protect your family by starving. Jimin looked at him, who was peacefully serving dinner in 2 plates. Picking up the 2 plates, he went and sat on the couch, placing the plates on the table. He sat there quietly waiting for Jimin. Jimin sighed and got up from his chair, strode towards him, and sat across him. They both are quite professional, but no doubt they grew a good bond between them after working together for so many years. Jimin picked his plate and took a bite, followed by Jack. They ate in silence. Do you think Wine will forgive me? He asked, gaining the other one's attention. It's hard, nearly impossible. He replied, earning a glare in return. Glaring at me won't change anything. You did what you did even after I stopped you for 100 times. Don't forget who is the boss here, he asserted in monotonous way. My apologies. Get the car ready, we are leaving to Ryan's house. Jack looked at him with a surprised face. Also, increase the security around our house. It's time to correct my mistake. He murmured the last sentence to himself. Jack nodded and went out, taking the dishes along with him. Jimin was heading to Ryan's house. Jack was driving the car while he was sitting on the back seat. He was continuously moving on his seat as he was really nervous. Jack glanced at him from the front mirror. Sir, are you okay? He asked hesitantly. The seat is uncomfortable. Jack sighed and focused on the road. After it felt like an eternity, they reached there. He stopped the car and turned to Jimin. We are here. Jimin looked outside at the familiar house. Let's hope for the best. Jimin looked at him with a small smile and nodded. He got off the car and dragged his body towards the front door. He nervously pressed the doorbell and waited for her to open the door. Not long after, the door opened, revealing Vian. Jimin's heartbeat raced by looking at her. For him, it still felt like first time seeing her. A smile automatically spread across his lips. Vian was stunned, seeing him at her door suddenly after 2 months of their divorce. But she held her emotions and asked, what do you want? Her tone was cold and emotionless, which was foreign for Jimin, as he was used to her sweet nature. I want to talk to you, he whispered in a low voice. I don't talk to strangers. And oh man, her statement directly pierced through his heart. Am I am I a stranger to you? His voice held pain, which affected her. She looked away from him. Then who are you to me? Jimin sighed, knowing there is no point of arguing as he deserved it after what he did. I know you don't want to see me, but can we talk, please? He pleaded, making her sigh. He opened the door wider, letting him inside. He looked around the house and all the past memories flashed in his mind. When he used to come over when they were dating, or their movies night, or them cuddling on couch, or them playing and laughing together, or their first kiss, or their first intimate affection. Everything. This house was once a living home where they made so many memories together. But now it is just a non living house. But it still has wine's fragrance, which gave him a feeling of home. He automatically smiled at his own thoughts. He was brought back to reality by wine. Speak whatever you want to speak and kindly leave. He turned and faced her. How have you been? I was fine until you show up. He nibbled on his lower lip, absolutely hurt by her words. When I. He stepped closer, trying to hold her hands, but she stepped back. You don't need to act. I know why are you here. I already expected this. Let me guess. You got to know that I am pregnant and now you are here to put on an act of being the good gentleman. Jamin snapped his head towards her and shook his head. No, no, Wyan, it's not like that. You are misunderstanding me. Oh no, Jimin. Now I started understanding you. You just pretend to be a good person from outside, but in reality, you are the most selfish person I have ever seen. You hurt me, the most selfish. Tears were already rolling down her eyes by now. She wanted to burst out whatever she had bottled up till now. I know I hurt you, but please listen to me for once. No, I won't. I don't want to listen to anything. Why do you come now? To break me again? Or you have more evil plans now? Tears welled up in his eyes seeing her so broken, and the worst thing was that he was the reason. Wine had his collar yanking his body down. We were happy, right? But one day you came and asked for divorce all of the sudden. I asked you for the reason. I literally begged, but you were silent that time. Then why now? I am sorry. He whispered and a tear rolled down his eyes. She scoffed and left his collar with a jerk, making him stumble back. Sorry? Keep your freaking sorry to yourself. Go away. Leave. I don't want to see your face anymore. Just leave from my house. She held out and turned her back at him. Why? I had a reason, why? I just wanted your safety, even if I had to be out of your life. She turned her body and faced him. Then, why do you drag me in this mess in the first place when you knew it won't be safe for me? And when you did, it was your responsibility to protect me, not to abandon me. He kneeled down in front of her with his head hanging low. I am really sorry, Ryan. I know my sorry won't take away the pain you are feeling, but my intentions were never wrong, Ryan. I genuinely love you more than myself, and I just wanted your safety. I did whatever I felt right at that time. I never wanted to hurt you. My condition is no different from you. I missed you every second. Life without you wasn't life anymore. I just wanted to keep you safe, even if it takes my life. He poured out his pain while she listened to him silently. You hurted me, Jimin. I am a human, and I have feelings too. You made me feel like a toy. You embraced me when you wanted, and when you were satisfied, you threw me away. He looked up with hurt and pain in his eyes. Please, Wine. I'm really sorry. Please give me a chance to fix everything. He begged. Wine sighed and wiped her tears. Listen, Jimin. I'm not heartless to keep you away from your child. You can see him or her once he or she will born. In fact, you can be with me during this period, but don't expect anything else from me. You are the father of my child and will always be, but you aren't the man of my life anymore, and I don't think we'll ever be again. So please, don't keep your hopes high and leave. I am tired and I want to sleep. Saying so, she left from there towards her room, leaving a miserable Jimin behind. He cried and cried for next 1 hour sitting in the same position. What have I done? He cursed himself for ruining his own happy life, totally unaware of wine crying inside her room. It wasn't easy for her to take such tough decisions. She loves him more than anything, and only she knows how difficult it was for her to see him so vulnerable and not hug him tight. After crying his heart out, he stood up taking the support of the nearby table. He glanced towards Ryan's rooms before dragging himself out of the house. Ryan watched him leaving from the window in her room, crying silently. Look what you did, Jimin. I'm scared to even trust you again. Ryan was sleeping peacefully when her phone rang. She groaned and grabbed her phone. She picked it up without looking at the caller ID. Her eyes opened wide, hearing the person from the other side. She sat on the bed processing the information. As the call went off, she grabbed her car keys and rushed outside. After driving for 35 minutes, she reached at Jimin's penthouse. She saw an anxious Jack in the living room and rushed towards him. Where is he? Is he okay? He's upstairs. Doctors are treating him. He got 2 bullets. One fell on the couch. That's why I was always scared. I knew anything can happen, but he never listened to me. Now see, she was shivering and crying at the thought of something happened to him. Jack poured her a glass of water and made her drink it. Relax, Wine. He will be fine. How did all this happen? We were coming back from your place, and on our way, his enemy attacked us with his men. They shoot him, but he ended them all. Now, no more enemies, no more obstacles. He smiled at her. You know, Ryan, I always see you as my little sister. I was equally mad as you when he divorced you, until today. But now I know why did he do that. I was 15 years old, roaming in the streets homeless when he took me with him. He gave me everything. I may not show much emotions, but he's my everything one. Seeing him in this condition, I now know how did he feel that day when he got to know that his enemies want to kill you. I know his way was wrong, but not his intentions. He suffered equally. He wasn't being himself from the day you left. I didn't leave. He was the one who divorced me. I know when, but now you know the reason. You have full right to be mad at him. But don't let go of this relationship. You love him, so do he. Take your time and think about it. He made a mistake and now regretting it. Don't do the same as him. He patted her head and left from there, leaving her in a pool of thoughts. After some time, he came back with the medical team. Vine stood up as soon as she saw them. How is my husband, doctor? Jack smiled when she mentioned him as her husband. He is out of danger now. The bullets were near his heart, but thankfully there is no damage in heart. But the wound is very deep. He needs lots of care. I'll take my leave now. Take care. Vine and Jack bowed to them and they left. Vine looked at Jack while he smiled. He is unconscious now, but he will soon wake up. Can I at least see him? Of course. I am going to buy his medicines. Vine nodded and went towards his room. He was there, on his bed, unconscious. There were small cuts on his face, some scratches here and there on his body. He was bandaged around his torso. She quietly went and sat beside him on the bed. She kissed his head gently and kissed his forehead. He slowly opened his eyes and scanned his surroundings. He saw her sitting beside him, already looking at him. He automatically smiled. Are you feeling pain anywhere? The sweetness in her voice was back, which made his heart bloomed with happiness. Were you worried about me? Wyatt stared at him without saying a word. When tears started flowing from her eyes, making his smile drop. You did it intentionally, right? What? You took these bullets intentionally, right? I know you are a great fighter. You just can't get injured all of the sudden. She cried while he looked away. You said you don't want me anymore. I had no reason to live. Now you are making me a bad person here. He instantly looked at her. No, why I didn't. Can't I be mad at you? You hurted me and I was angry. So I blurted out anything. It means you will go and die. You didn't think about me or our baby. You always do whatever you want. She whined and sobbed loudly. Whine, don't cry. I am sorry. You are the one who made me cry. I want to punch your handsome face. He chuckled. She looked at him with her big eyes. Now you are laughing at me. Keep laughing. I am going from here. She got on the bed and started walking towards the door. He tried to sit up and stop her but groaned in pain as he tried. Hearing his painful groan, she ran back to him. Are you okay? Did it hurt somewhere? She asked, being concerned, while he grabbed her wrist and made her sit beside him again. Stay, please. Don't leave me. Give me one chance, please. He uttered while tears rolled down his eyes. Vine chuckled through her tears. I never knew my mafia man is such a crybaby. I ain't going anywhere this time, even if you won't. Are you giving me a chance? On one condition. He looked at her. What? You will leave this mafia world. I want to live a normal life. You, me, Jack, and our baby. Our small family with no enemies, no negativity. Anything for you, he said, making her smile. Ryan, can you please hug me? I missed you. But you are injured. Please, Ryan. She wrapped her arms around his neck and rested her forehead against his carefully, not wanting to hurt him. I love you, Ryan. We love you more. He grinned, getting what her we indicated to. She has no clue for what is going to happen next or how things are going to work out. All she knows for sure that he is her happiness and that's all she needs.